You are prepared. Trust yourself. You've spent hours studying, pushing through exhaustion, sacrificing time, and committing yourself to this moment. Now, as the exam approaches, you need to understand one thing. You are ready. Too many people let doubt creep in before an exam. They start questioning whether they studied enough, whether they truly understand the material, whether they will remember everything they need. But doubt is not your friend. Doubt is not going to help you. Trust is. Trust in yourself. Trust in your preparation. Trust in the fact that you've already done the hard part. Think back to all the times you sat down, focused, and studied when you didn't feel like it. Think about all the notes you took, all the problems you solved, all the information you reviewed. That was not for nothing. That was you preparing for this exact moment. Now is the time to believe in that preparation. Fear tricks you into thinking you're not ready. Confidence tells you that you are. Which one will you listen to? When you walk into that exam room, walk in with certainty, because you didn't come this far just to freeze up now. You came to win. Take a deep breath. Clear your mind. You are prepared. Now trust yourself. Fear is an illusion. Fear is not real. It only exists in your mind. It's the voice that whispers, what if I fail? What if I forget everything? What if I'm not good enough? But let me tell you something. Fear is a liar. Fear has no power unless you give it power. It's not something that can stop you unless you let it. And right now, before your exam, you have a choice. Will you let fear control you, or will you rise above it? Think about this. How many times have you been nervous before something important, only to realize later that there was nothing to be afraid of? How many times have you doubted yourself, only to find out that you knew more than you thought? Fear is nothing but a mental trick, a mirage, a roadblock that exists only in your head. When you sit down for your exam, fear will try to creep in. It will try to shake your confidence, make your hands sweat, and fill your mind with panic. But in that moment, you need to push it aside, take a deep breath, sit tall, and remind yourself, you are in control. Not fear, not doubt. You. Fear is an illusion, but belief is real. Choose to believe in yourself and watch how fear disappears. Focus on execution, not perfection. Too many people walk into an exam thinking they have to be perfect. They think they need to know every single answer, remember every single detail, and avoid every single mistake. But perfection is a trap. It will paralyze you before you even begin. The goal is not perfection. The goal is execution. Your job is not to get every answer right. Your job is to give your absolute best, to focus, to stay calm, and to work through each question with confidence. The moment you start chasing perfection, you invite stress. And stress makes you forget what you already know. Think about athletes. They don't go into a game expecting to play perfectly. They go in focused on execution, on making plays, on giving their best effort, on adjusting and moving forward. That's exactly what you need to do. Some questions might be hard. Some moments might shake you. That's okay. What matters is how you respond. Do you panic and freeze up? When you sit for that exam, don't chase perfection, chase progress. Work through each question with a steady mind, stay in control, and focus on doing your best, not being perfect. Because your best is more than enough. The exam does not define you. One test, one score, one exam. None of these define your intelligence, your worth, or your future. Yet too many people let a single moment dictate how they feel about themselves. They think if they don't get the highest score, if they make mistakes, if they don't perform perfectly, then they have failed. That is not true. You are bigger than this exam. Your potential cannot be measured by a piece of paper. Your intelligence is not limited to the answers you write. This test is just a stepping stone, not the final destination. Some of the greatest minds in history struggled with tests. Albert Einstein, Thomas Edison, Steve Jobs. These were people who didn't let a score determine their greatness because they knew something powerful. Growth matters more than grades. Learning matters more than numbers. And what you do after the exam, that's what truly defines you. So take this exam seriously. Do your best, push yourself, but never, ever let a test make you doubt your potential. Whether you score high or low, your future is still in your hands, and your story is far from over. Pressure creates diamonds. Right now, you might be feeling the weight of this exam. The pressure, the nerves, the expectations. It can feel overwhelming. But let me remind you of something. Pressure doesn't break you. Pressure makes you. Diamonds are formed under intense heat and pressure. Without that pressure, they would just be ordinary rocks. And just like diamonds, greatness is forged in difficult moments. When you feel that pressure before your exam, don't run from it. Embrace it. Use it. Let it sharpen your focus. Let it push you to rise higher. Every champion, every leader, every successful person you admire has faced pressure. They didn't succeed because they avoided it. They succeeded because they learned to perform under it. And now it's your turn. This exam is not here to defeat you. It's here to prove how strong you are. So when the pressure builds, don't panic. Breathe. Stay focused. And remember, you are not here to crumble. You are here to shine. You've already won by showing up. The hardest part of any challenge isn't the moment you sit down to take the exam. It's everything you did to get here. The late nights, the early mornings, the hours of studying when you wanted to give up. That's where the real victory happened. Most people don't even make it this far. They quit. They let fear stop them. They make excuses, but you didn't. You showed up. You kept pushing even when it was hard, and that alone makes you a winner. Now, all that's left is to give your best effort. Not to be perfect, not to have all the answers, just to step into that exam room and show the results of your hard work. No matter what happens today, remember this: you are already successful because you refused to quit. You've proven your discipline, your resilience, and your commitment to your future. And that is something no exam can ever take away from you. So go in with your head high, give it everything you've got. And when you walk out of that room, know that you've already won because you showed up and gave it your all. You've already won by showing up. The moment you sit down for an exam, nerves start creeping in. Your mind races, your hands might shake, and that little voice of doubt tries to whisper, what if I fail? What if I don't know the answers? What if I'm not good enough? But let me remind you of something right now. You've already won. The battle wasn't just about today. It wasn't just about this test. The real victory happened long before you even stepped into that exam room. The true challenge wasn't the paper in front of you. It was everything you did to get here. It was every sacrifice you made, every hour of studying, every time you chose discipline over distraction. That is what defines success. That is what sets you apart. Most people don't even make it this far. They give up before they try. They let fear stop them. They convince themselves that they aren't ready, that they don't have what it takes, so they don't even show up. But you showed up, and that means something. Showing up is the hardest part. It's the part where most people fail. Think about all the times in your life when you felt like quitting. Maybe it was a tough subject that made no sense. Maybe it was a long study session where nothing seemed to stick. Maybe it was a practice test that knocked your confidence. But despite all of that, you kept going. You didn't let the struggle defeat you. You chose to fight. That choice, the choice to keep moving forward, is what separates winners from everyone else. It's not about talent. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about grit, resilience, and determination. It's about standing up and saying, I will not quit. I will not let fear stop me. I will show up and do my best. Now let's talk about what winning really means. Too many people think success is just about getting the highest score, about being perfect, about walking away with no mistakes. But that's not the truth. Success is about progress. Success is about growth. Success is about becoming better today than you were yesterday. If you sit down and give this exam your all, if you put every bit of effort into every question, then you've already won. Because you're doing something that most people won't do. You're facing your fears head on. You're stepping into a moment that challenges you. And instead of backing down, you're rising up. And let me tell you something. You will have many more challenges in life. This exam, it's just one of them. There will be bigger tests ahead, more difficult days, times when you feel like you don't have the strength to continue. But remember this, you have already proven that you are someone who shows up. You have already proven that you are someone who fights. And if you can do it now, you can do it again. Think about the most successful people in the world, the athletes, the leaders, the visionaries. Do you think they won every single time? No. Do you think they never failed? Absolutely not. But what made them different? They never let failure stop them. They never let a bad day define them. They never let fear win. Right now, you need to take that same mindset into this exam. You need to remind yourself, I have worked for this. I am ready for this. I am strong enough to handle this. And no matter what happens, I will not let this one test define my future. Because one test does not determine your intelligence. One test does not measure your worth. One test does not decide your destiny. You do. This exam is just a moment in your journey. It is a stepping stone, not the finish line. What matters most is not whether you get every question right, but whether you keep pushing forward, whether you keep learning, whether you keep believing in yourself even when things get tough. So when you sit down and open that test, remember, you are not just taking an exam. You are proving to yourself that you are someone who does not quit. You are proving that you are stronger than your doubts. You are proving that no matter what challenges come your way, you will face them head on. You are already a winner. Not because of the score you'll get, but because of the effort you put in. Because you had the courage to show up when others wouldn't. Because you refused to let fear stop you. And when you walk out of that room, no matter what, hold your head high. Because you fought. Because you gave it everything you had. Because you showed up. And in the end, that is what truly matters.